I'm Anil Kumar, and in this video we'll take a few examples where power rule will be applied. So the power rule is that if f of x is equals to x to the power of n, then what is the derivative? Derivative is n times x to the power of n minus 1. So this is the power rule which we are going to apply and find out answer for a few questions. You also remember that for a constant, if I'm saying, let me write down that also, if I say if f of x is equals to constant k, I'm saying k is a constant, then remember f dash of a constant is 0. Remember that part also. So we'll apply both these rules which we have learned just now to see how to find derivative of functions which are combinations of some polynomials, right? So that should help you to understand the concept. So we'll take a few examples. Let us say the function for us is f of x equals to 2x to the power of 3, right? So you can find derivative for this. We can have a function which is f of x equals to half and x to the power of let us say 4 minus 1. So we have combined, so we'll use power rule with combination of addition and subtraction rule in this case, and we could say f of x is equals to x to the power of half, right? So normally we're talking about polynomials, but we'll take radical expressions also in this particular case. Let's begin applying these rules. When I say f of x is equals to x to the power of n, and its derivative is n times, so this number comes here, x to the power of n minus 1. So we'll say f dash x, so that means derivative of this function is 2 times 3. So we'll write 2 times 3 x to the power of 3 minus 1. That is 6x square. So that is the answer for this one. Here we are combining the power rule with a constant multiplication and subtraction, right? So in this particular case the derivative will be half times 4, right, times 4 x to the power of 4 minus 1 minus derivative of 1, which is 0, right? You could treat this as to the power of 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So what you get is 0 always. So that is the constant, right? Now you could simplify this a bit, which says 2x cubed is your answer. Here the derivative will be f dash x is equals to half, that is the value of n, x to the power of half minus 1, and that gives you half x to the power of minus half. At times you may be required to write this as positive powers. In that case you could write this as half times 1 over square root of x, right? So that is the same thing. So that is how you can answer these questions. Now at times these questions could be tricky, and let me give you some of those questions to you now. So we could have a function f of x equals to x to the power of 3 minus 1 over square root of x, right? So that looks a very complicated function. Now figure out how are you going to apply the power rule to solve this function. Think about it. So if you have a combination like this, what should you do? You could write this as x to the power of 3 over square root of x minus 1 over square root of x, correct? So we'll further simplify this. We can say x to the power of 3 minus half, right? 3 minus half minus x to the power of minus half, correct? Which you could write as 3 minus half as 6 minus 1, which is x to the power of 5 over 2 minus x to the power of minus half. Now you get a familiar expression. So now you can say f dash x is equals to 5 over 2 times x to the power of 5 over 2 minus 1 minus half, let me write minus half, times x to the power of minus half minus 1. Let's simplify this one again. 5 over 2 x to the power of, take common denominator, so it is 2 over 2. 5 minus 2 is 3, so we get 3 over 2, and on this side minus and minus becomes plus half x to the power of minus 3 over 2. Do you see that? So likewise, you could actually simplify some expression which is kind of like this, right? It's not a polynomial. So I've written here polynomial since the chapter says that, but actually we are dealing with just the powers, okay? And the powers could be, we are not dealing with just integer, we are dealing with rational exponents at present, okay? So that is how you could do it. At times you could actually factor out this term and then simplify it further also. I'll leave that part to you, okay? So that is how you should be using the power rule combined with what you have learned as addition and subtraction rule and multiplication by the constant. I hope this helps you to solve some questions, right? So as a practice question, let me give you one here. So find the derivative for the function. Will give you similar kind here, but I'm writing it in a different way. So cube root of this, do you see that? Okay, plus 1 divided by, let us say just x, right? So let that be one of the functions, and the other function for you to practice could be 2 over x squared minus 3 over x plus 1. So find the derivative of these functions using the rules which you've learned so far. Thank you and all the best.